Here is how to turn a single start and end frame into a stunning 4K video automatically, no editing required. Creating motion graphics normally takes hours of editing and complex software, but with this workflow, you just provide the start and end frames and it generates a polished 4K video in minutes. Here is how this works. We divided the workflow into two sections here. First, a webhook triggers 1080p video generation from your image frames using FAL AI's Hawaii image to video model. Once those clips are ready, another webhook kicks off the 4K process. It grabs all your 10p videos, merges them into one seamless clip, then uses Topaz AI to upscale everything to 4K at 60 frames per second. To make this super easy, I have created a complete workflow template for you. You can grab it for free from my Skool community. The link is in the description. Once you join, download the JSON file. Then in n8n, click the plus button, select workflow option, hit the three dots here and choose import from file option. Select the template and you will have the full workflow imported instantly. You will also need to copy the Airtable base. Here is the Airtable base and the table name. Now let us dive in and see how each piece works. Let me slide it here and zoom in. The 1080p webhook trigger is our first entry point. When this is triggered, it generates 1080p videos from your start and end image frames. Select the production URL tab here. Make a note of this webhook URL since you will need to connect it to your Airtable automation later. I will show you exactly where to add it when we get to the Airtable setup. This Airtable node searches for records that are ready for video generation. Let us open the node. We are using Airtable as the backend for storing our images and video links. You will need to provide your Airtable credentials here. I will quickly show you how to create your Airtable credentials. Go to airtable.com, select sign up for free and create an account. Once logged in, select your avatar and choose Builder Hub option. Select personal access token here and choose this create token button. Give it a name here, add scope and add access. You can click on this add all resources option so access will be granted to all the current and future Airtable bases. Then hit the create token button here. It will generate an access token for you. Once you have those details, click on this drop down box and select create new credential. We are connecting using access token. Paste your access token in this field and hit this save button. Here we are searching for the records that have the status as 1080p ready in our Airtable base and in this upscaled video table. And here we have mentioned what fields we need to pull from this table. The key fields we need are first frame, last frame and the video prompt. We are going to pass this information to the FAL video generation node. Here is where the magic happens for 1080p video generation. We are using FAL AI's Hawaii model to create videos from your image frames. FAL AI is a serverless platform that provides API access to various AI models for image generation, video creation, and upscaling. You will need FAL AI credentials. Sign up here, create an API key, and add some balance to your account. You can add a small amount like $10. Then connect your FAL account to n8n. Select generic credential type under authentication and header auth under generic auth type. Then in header auth field, click on this drop down box and then select create new credential. Under name field, type in authorization. In the value field, type in the word key with capital K as exactly shown here. Give a space and then paste your API key here. Then hit this save button. Let us take a quick view at the API we are using here. Type in Hawaii in this search bar and select this Pro Image to Video model. Here it shows you the playground. You can give a prompt and try it out here, but it will consume credits. But we are interested in the API. Select the API tab. Here you have all the details about the API, how to call the API, what APIs are available here. We will be using submit a request API call. Here it gives you what method we need to use and what is the API endpoint URL that we need to use. It also shows fetch request status API and also get the result API with which we will be able to get the video URL after the generation is complete. This is the same API endpoint URL we are using for submitting the request. Here is the JSON body. It sends the video prompt, first frame image and last frame image and includes a webhook for completion notifications. This node sets up the 1080p video generation job. We have a wait node here that pauses the execution for 6 minutes to give the video generation enough time to complete. Video processing can take a while depending on complexity and queue times, so this 6 minutes buffer ensures it has sufficient time. This HTTP request node retrieves the completed 1080p video using the response URL from the generation job. We are using the get method here. This pulls the final video file that we will use for the 4K upscaling process. This Airtable node saves our generated 1080p video URLs back into the 1080p video field and updates the status field with 4K ready value. This status change is crucial because it signals the next part of our workflow that this video is ready for upscaling. The 1080p video field will have the video URL that is generated by the Hawaiilo model. At this point, we have our individual clips generated in 1080p resolution and are ready for merging and upscaling. This is our second webhook that triggers the merging and 4K upscaling process. Once videos are marked as 4K ready in this Airtable, this webhook can be called to start the merging and upscaling workflow. We do that by selecting the Create 4K button here. This Airtable node searches for all records with status 4K ready and pulls their 1080p video URLs. It also grabs subject and scene information per organization. Here we are sorting by the scene field, ensuring videos are processed in a logical order based on the scene generation. This aggregate node collects all the 1080p video URLs from multiple records and combines them into a single array. This is essential for the merging process as we need all video URLs in one place to send to the merging service. This node uses FAL AI's FFmpeg API to stitch multiple 1080p videos into one seamless clip. Let us take a quick look at the FFmpeg merge videos API. Type in FFmpeg in FAL AI search field and select this merge videos API. Then select this API tab. Here it will show you all the details about this API call. Click on this submit a request. This is the same API URL that we are using with the post method. The important thing to note is it expects a list of video URLs to be merged. The JSON body takes our array of video URLs and sends them for merging. The webhook parameter ensures we get notified when the merging is complete. This creates one continuous video from all your individual clips. This node waits for notification from Merge Videos API to resume the workflow. Under resume, we have specified on webhook call. We have a fallback time limit set to 3 minutes if the API fails to send the notification. That is, if we don't receive any kind of confirmation from the Merge Videos API for whatever may be the reason, the API might have crashed. In that case, we're going to resume the workflow after 3 minutes anyway, instead of waiting forever. This getStitch node retrieves the merged video file using the response URL from the merging job. Now we have one combined 1080p video ready for 4K upscaling. This is where we transform our merged 1080p video into stunning 4K quality video. We are using Topaz AI upscaling through FAL AI. Let us take a quick look at the Topaz API. Type in Topaz in the FAL API search bar and then select the Upscale Video API. Then select the API tab. Here we have the details on how to call the API and what are the API endpoints. Here is the submit request API endpoint. The API endpoint will accept the video URL to be upscaled and then the upscale factor, then the target frames per second and the H264 codec. We have specified those parameters in our JSON body. This is the video URL. Then for the upscale factor, we have specified 2 and target FPS is 60 frames per second. The upscale factor 2 takes our 1080p videos to 4K resolution. We are also boosting the frame rate to 60 frames per second for ultra smooth playback. The H264 codec output ensures compatibility across all platforms and devices. 4K upscaling takes significant processing power and time, so we wait 5 minutes before checking the status. This gives the AI enough time to work its magic on your video. This HTTP request node checks the upscaling job status using the request ID. We are using the switch node to route the workflow based on the upscaling status. We have mentioned the routing rules here. If it completed successfully, we proceed to download the video. If it is in queue or in processing, we wait a bit more. If there is an error, we update the record accordingly. If the upscaling is still in progress, we wait for 1 minute before checking the request status again. This HTTP get video node downloads the final 4K upscaled video when processing is complete. This is your finished high resolution video file ready for use. Here we find the original records with status as 4K ready, which correspond to our processed video. So we can update it with the final 4K video URL. And here we save the final 4K video URL to the table and update the status field to done. Our table now contains links for both the original 1080p version and the upscaled 4K version. In these notes, we handle error cases by finding the failed records and updating their status to error for easy identification and troubleshooting. Let us see this automation in action. Before we kick it off, let us make sure our Airtable is ready with all the information necessary. Make sure the status column is set to 1080p ready for the scenes we want to generate. Make sure the first frame and last frame are filled with appropriate images and you have the proper video prompt entered here. Save your workflow and toggle it to active. Open the 1080p webhook node. Click on this production URL and then select this URL by clicking on the field. Now we have the URL copied. Then select this drop down box for create 1080p video field and choose edit field. Then you need to paste your webhook URL up to the question mark here and then hit this save button. Repeat the same process for create 4K video field. This time you need to select this second webhook node that says 4K webhook. Then go to production URL and then copy this value. Switch back to Airtable, select this field and repeat the same process. Now that we have everything ready, let us see it in action. First we want to generate the 1080p videos. Select this create 1080p button. You will see a message saying workflow was started. Now we can switch to n8n workflow. You can click on this executions to see the progress. Our workflow is still running. It says this execution has not finished yet. The entire process typically takes 10 to 15 minutes depending on video length and complexity. Our setup scenario workflow ran successfully and it has generated the 1080p videos and here is the URL for those videos and the status has been changed to 4K ready. Let us take a look at the videos that have been generated for the 3 scenes. Now we will kick off this merge and 4K upscale workflow. Let us go to Airtable, then hit this create 4K button. You will see a message saying workflow was started. Select the executions tab. It says the execution has not finished yet. Our merge and 4K upscale workflow is running now. I'll come back after it finishes and show you the final output video. The merge and upscale workflow also finished successfully. Let us look at the video produced. Here we see the status got updated to done and this 4K video column got updated with the upscaled video URL. Here is the upscaled video. Now you have seen how this workflow can transform basic image frames into professional 4K videos. To make this work smoothly in your setup, you will need to organize your Airtable properly with all the required fields and webhook URLs. The key is having good image frames and descriptive video prompts. The AI does the rest. I will show you briefly how to generate the images and the video prompts. We will use Seedream, the best image generator in the class, to generate all the images we need. Type in Seedream in search field here. Select the text to image for generating the starting frame for the first scene. Enter your prompt here. You can ask ChatGPT to generate the image creation prompt for you. Once the image is generated, you can download and save it. Now you got the starting frame for the first scene. Next, we need to generate the end frame for the first scene, and we already have the starting image. For that, select Seedream image to image model by clicking this drop down box and selecting Seedream 4.0 edit model. Enter your prompt here and select this add image button to upload the start frame image that you just generated. With that, you have the start frame and end frame for the first scene. You can use the end frame image as starting frame image for your second scene. Repeat the same process for the third scene. At this point, you have all images need to generate 3 video scenes. Upload those images here in the Airtable. Click in this first frame column and then select this add attachment option. Repeat the process for uploading all the 6 images. Now only remaining thing is to provide the video prompts. For that, we can use Claude AI. Now only remaining thing is to provide the video prompts. You can ask Claude to generate the video prompts based on the start frame and end frame. Attach your images in Claude and type in your prompt. Let me show you an example. I pasted the prompt here and attached the first frame and last frame, then submit to Claude. Claude will generate high quality video prompts for you. Copy this video prompt and paste it in this field in the Airtable. Now you're all set to run the workflow to get an upscaled video. With this automation running, you can focus on creative direction while the system handles all the technical heavy lifting.